Hi everyone. All right, we are on to chapter 6 already. We are halfway through the book after we finish this chapter, and we are just rocking and rolling. Hopefully you are in a great position now. We've had a few weeks now of online work, so you're probably understanding my expectations and the flow of the course and things like that from week to week. It's obviously very similar, and I do that on purpose to keep it the same so there aren't any huge surprises, because I know I have taken online classes and I don't like when there's any surprises either, and I know basically how much time it will take me to complete some tasks and do homework and things like that. So that's done on purpose. I hope you're appreciating that and enjoying the class so far. All right, let's change again to a little bit higher level. Let's go up one step from business level, go up to the corporate level strategy. And this is where a large conglomerate company like GE amazes probably everyone, every professor, strategist, person who really thinks about this concept and thinks, how do they make any money? They are highly undiversified as a corporate entity. They own and do everything from finance to they own NBC and TV companies. They do refrigerators, they do airplanes, they do all kinds of stuff, services, products, a lot of things, probably a lot of things we don't even know GE does that they make or manufacture. So how do they add value as a company? How do they make money as a company? How do they attract people to invest in them as a public company with having so many pieces and parts that really are not related to each other? So they are an example of unrelated diversification, and probably the most unrelated that you can get. So when we talk about corporate level, you're either going to have related or you're going to have unrelated, and they are definitely an example of unrelated. An example of a related strategy is a company that I've used before, and I don't want to abuse it, but it is Gap. It is that type of company, or it's a company that just that buys businesses that are related to each other. So a jewelry company would buy another jewelry company, or a car company buys, which we see this all the time, another car company because they consolidate the industry. You'll also see like an Anheuser-Busch, which as we know now was bought by InBev, but they do related diversification by buying up all these different brands across the world. That's very common in the beer industry for companies to do that. So when you think about this chapter and you're reading through it, I will say and give you a hint is that you probably need to read this chapter in more detail and maybe a couple times versus the other chapter, because I do believe the authors bounce around a little bit, in my opinion, too much. So my hint on this chapter is really to think about this in terms of related diversification and unrelated diversification. And then what are the differences between corporations following those strategies? Because remember, this is where do we compete. So not how do we compete at that business level, but where do we compete. So hopefully that will help you out this chapter. Thanks. Bye-bye.